Well, hello out there in television land on YouTube. My name is Andrew Simon, aka Gun Hill Bane, aka Bainbridge Omega, and I am back, everybody, for a brand new review show. Last night was a great night for wrestling, a great day for professional wrestling. We have ROH Final Battle that happened around 4 p.m. And we had NXT Deadline that happened around 8 p.m. I just finished watching NXT Deadline, and oh my God. I don't know if it's because I just came home from work, so I'm kind of dead tired, and I kind of need sleep before my Christmas party later on this evening. But my God, compared to Final Battle, NXT Deadline was just, it was a boring show. It was boring, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the best pay-per-view of the day, and it's called ROH Final Battle. Now, before I make my review, here's the thing. I know that a lot of people have their things about Tony Khan, right? Tony Khan doesn't know how to book. Tony Khan doesn't give me the wrestlers I like. Tony Khan is manipulated by the Cucamonga kids. All you ridiculous James E. Cornette, Coca-holics, or whatever the case may be, or any podcaster who says anything negative about it. Say what you will about Tony Khan. When it comes to pay-per-views, he always delivers. And this one is no different. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole 0 hour thing because honestly, the only thing I got to see from that 0 hour was Top Flight versus The Kingdom, which was unbelievable. It was amazing. It was fast paced. Though there were some botchy moments in that match. I think there was one moment with Darius Martin. I think he kind of slipped when he tried to do that move. And that was basically the problem with that one. But, other than that, it was all right. But now, going into the meat and potatoes of the match. The first match, Rush and Tralistico, Los Inglobables, all right, versus Blake Christian and AR Fox. AR Fox, newly signed to AEW. It looks like he's going to be a big star in the making. And it was another fast-paced exchange, very hot to kick things off. The crowd was popping. It was rocking right there in Texas. I think they were in Austin, something like that, Let me see. Rush and Fox tagged in, traded chops, The Luchadors had the upper hand for a long time. AR Fox kind of used his high-flying skills. It was very amazing, and he scored a win with his team with a 450. There was a bit of an issue at the end of the match. It seems that was not supposed to be the finish, and they were supposed to kick out before the ref called a 3. So the ref called a 3, AR Fox won. So now they had to pull an audible, and the only way they pull an audible was for Rush and Listico to beat the living shit out of AR Fox and his tag team partner. It was a great match. It was a botchy finish, but overall, it was a good way to start, to start the night. Second match, it was Mercedes Martinez versus Athena for the ROH Women's Championship, which I find it odd. Usually women's matches come before the main event itself. That's the second on the card. I'm loving the new Athena. She's looking more of a badass. She's very serious. I mean, both women brought it. Apparently, this is Athena's hometown. So her mom and dad were on hand to watch the match. Those two, they held nothing back. They delivered a match that was really hard-hitting, fun to watch. And like I said, Athena's new attitude was on full display. I love that. Martinez, I mean, she played well, being the babyface, after spending most of her time as an aggressive heel. It was a great change of pace. And then during the match, though, she kind of went heelish. Mainly because look, it is Athena. It's her crowd. It's her, it's her city. So there was gonna be some back and forth. But man, the champ hit a suplex on the floor. They did a great job playing into the way the crowd was reacting, and then the finish. I believe that Athena did a huge move, and then she came with the O face, won the top rope stunner for the win, and became the new ROH Women's Champion, which is great for her. I mean, I know a lot of people, a lot of Athena fans out there were waiting to see, is she ever going to be a champion? She may not be AEW Women's Champion. She may not be TBS champion, but her being an ROH champion, that shows a lot of fire. That shows a lot of respect. And I feel that Athena will be a fantastic champion moving forward, especially with the new Honor Club streaming service that Tony Khan is going to introduce to the crowd in the coming weeks, in the coming months. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later if we could. The next match, Shane Taylor Promotions versus Swerve in Our Glory. Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland is just like cool. He's just a cool heel. He's just like, I love the music. I love his flow. Is like something about Swerve. He mad cool and shit. But I don't get the match. Apparently Shane Taylor and Keith Lee have history back in the days of ROH. I wish they could have opened it up a little bit more, just so we can understand what the story was between these two teams. I mean, they did a pretty good match. I mean, obviously, Swerve does not like Keith Lee anymore, so I don't know why he even agreed to even tag with him for this particular match, only for him to swerve his ass out of the ring, during the final moments of this matchup, leaving Keith Lee all by his lonesome. But he still won. He still won the match. There were some cheap tag-ins here and there. It had a little bit of everything. There had some high flying. There were some strikes, huge feats of strength, especially from Lee and Shane Taylor. Man, it was good. It was very good. It was a damn good match. I just feel that maybe a little bit of a story should be involved to get myself a little bit more invested in it. But as I said before, it's the story being told in the ring that matters, and they brought it. So good shout out to them. I love that. I love that, man. Dalton Castle and the Boys versus the Embassy 6-man tag team titles. I did not watch this match. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, Dalton Castle's all right, but it's just his gimmick. The Boys, it doesn't set with me. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of that. Plus, they changed the music. They changed it to that weird, thingy music. I miss the rock, the old Dalton Castle rock music, that he used to do back in the old ROH days. That was fire. I wish they could bring it back. Yeah, actually, the Embassy won this match. Well, rightfully so. Rightfully so. The Badasses, Brian Cage, finally a champion again. Good for him. Good for him. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in terms of the 6-man tag team belts in ROH. I have no idea who their opponents will be moving forward, but that's good. That's good. There just needs I don't know. It just wasn't the match for me. It wasn't the match for me at all. Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta. If you want straight up wrestling, you want technical wrestling, you want power, you got it. You got it with Yuta and Garcia. They never failed to bring on a fantastic match. All right. Took control when the fight spilled out of the ring. Yuta never let him stay in control for too long. Garcia definitely had the upper hand. It was more of a back and forth match. It's as technical as you would expect. Great strikes, a lot of high flying moves throughout. It does a lot of near falls, back and forth. It was a good fight. And then of course they show a nice sign of respect at the end of it in terms of it. So it was pretty good. I liked it. Finally. Oh, Jesus. Let me take off my glasses for that one. And if my eyes tend to wander all over the places, because I'm actually I'm looking at the results on the big screen right there, but I'm looking directly to you at the camera. FTR versus the Briscoes. Part 3, dog collar match. If there was any reason for you to buy this pay-per-view, it's because of this match. All right? That match alone stole the whole night in both pay-per-views. It stole the whole night. I'm telling you, this is the best match I have ever seen. It is the most brutal match I have ever seen. I mean, listen, I'm not even going to go through the moves that goes on around here. Think about anything you can expect from a dog collar match and turn it up by 10. That's what you see. All right. You have one of the Briscoes being choked out by the chain. You both men, I mean, all four of those men were bleeding profusely within the first 5 minutes of that entire match. It was a complete bloodbath. Look at me, I'm bubbling up right here. It was so bad. It was so horrible that even the referee got bloodied right open, and there was a huge shot, and he actually got hit by the chain. I forgot who got. I forgot who hit him with the chain, basically. Um, yeah, everyone started fighting, and everyone was drawing blood. There were fights inside of the ring, outside of the ring, all over. There was chair shots being hooked up. I mean, this was truly the most fun, the most brutal, and the most exciting match of all of ROH right there. And rightfully so, the Briscoes won the championships. So now they are the new ROH champions, which says to me now that they're going to be the featured tag team in the new ROH TV show being streamed on Honor Club as in a few months time. It's a few months, a few weeks. I don't know. It's either way, but God, I love that match. This was a great match. This was a fantastic match. I cannot. It's a match. It's a match of matches. I gotta give them a round of applause for all of them. I mean, these three matches that they have dating back to Final Battle last year. I think that's how they started last year. And then you have Death Before Dishonor, and now Final Battle 2022 to end the trilogy. The trilogy. It was a thing of beauty. It was fantastic. I loved it. And I don't know what will happen with FTR from there. It seems that they're losing all the titles. I don't know whether or not they're going to continue staying with AEW or they're just going to be traveling elsewhere. More likely scenario, will they lose the tag team titles at Wrestle Kingdom? We don't know. Hopefully not. But, we shall see. This is going to be a very interesting 2023 for FTR, and we're going to see how that goes. But in terms of that match, them boys from Sandy Hook, Delaware, they got it. They got to win, and it was fun. It was a great, fun match, man. Holy crap. Please, if anything, look it up online, find the match in its entirety, and then you will see for yourself just how good this match was. That's it. Samoa Joe, Juice Robinson, ROH TV title. I kind of got checked out on this one. I don't know why, but after the match I saw with FTR versus the Briscoes, it seems like the following two matches was a bit of a come down in a way. It started out as a simple lockup, exchange of holds. They eventually began to trade punches. Robinson, had to resort to an eye poke to get out of the situation he found himself in. This match consisted of short bursts of high energy offense between the slow periods, usually when Joe was trying to punish his opponent with submission. So that's, that was pretty good. It wasn't the best Samoa Joe match I've seen, especially coming off from that insanely sick match between him and Darby Allin on Dynamite. This was just like, a nice little come down of it. I mean, I'm glad to see Juice Robinson being part of the AEW roster. I expect big things for him. Of course, Samoa Joe got the victory, and he is still the king of television He is the ROH TV champion as well as the TNT champion. So Samoa Joe, since coming back from injury, he's been on a tear, and I got to give him a lot of respect for that. You know, he's still doing it. He's still doing it in 2022, and I hope to see even awesome 2023 from Samoa Joe. And then finally, the main event: Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH World Championship. If Claudio loses to Chris Jericho, he must join the Jericho Appreciation Society. Of course, Jericho coming out to Judas, people singing to Judas in an ROH show, which is kind of cool. Jericho immediately chose not to obey the code of honor, being the Ocho that he is. He ran out of the ring, tried to attack the announcers. So for the good, like 3 to 5 minutes of the entire match, we was getting wrestling between these two guys with no commentating, no announcing at all. It felt weird. You know, sometimes you kind of need the announcers to drown out, you know, the look at the crowd. The crowd was like, yeah, was into it, but, you know, it was all right. But Jericho did found ways to use his veteran experience to combat this with Superman's power and speed, but neither man had a huge advantage at any point. And it was usually a more measured pace than most of the bouts in the card. And in some ways, you know, that worked to his benefit in this tournament. It was a good match, but again, FTR, Briscoes, they basically gave you everything. They gave you a whole pay-per-view's worth of matches in that one match alone. That's the thing. There was no way anyone could have topped it. If it was me doing the booking, crap, that should have been the main event. Briscoes versus FTR should have been the main event to close out the show. No questions asked. Because after that, people just kind of tune out on it. They did. They did this. They kind of tune out. But anyway, Daddy Magic came in. He slipped Jericho back behind the ref's back. Tried to use it to hit Castagnoli, but the challenger managed to kick out. Not only did Castagnoli win, he did so by making Jericho tap out to the big swing. That was unexpected. I gotta give him credit for that. I never thought in my wildest dreams anyone would tap out to the big swing. But that was a unique finish, and I had to give a lot of respect for that. And Claudio is the guy. He is the guy that should be holding the ROH strap. He should be the guy on the TV shows, on the media outlets, talking about the honor of ROH. He is a former ROH guy from back in the day. So this is good for him. I'm happy for the Claudio. And, you know, whenever we get that huge streaming service coming in, if it's online right now, this is great. And yeah, I'm very excited about that. So that's the review of Final Battle. And then that leads into NXT Deadline. And the reason I didn't watch it last night because I had work. So I came home from work and immediately started skimming. Well, not skimming. I watched the entire pay-per-view, but I skipped every parts in them. Let me see. I am going to start out with the women's Survivor. Was it Survivor Challenge? Whatever they call it, the Survivor Challenge. So basically how it works, for people who haven't seen the pay-per-view, have no idea what this Survivor Challenge is. 2 women or 2 men, they start out the ring for the first 5 minutes, and every 5 minutes, there's going to be another wrestler coming out to join in the fray. And as a mix of, what is it, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, War Games, you know, Without the Cage. So basically, if you score a pinfall on the opponent will have to go into the penalty box for 90 seconds until they brought out. Again, this makes it for a very fast-paced match with no room to breathe because, you know, they have to be racing towards the clock. The women there in the matchup was Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Zoe Stark, and Indy Hartwell. I never watch NXT. I'm only watching Deadline because I know a lot of fans of my channel did watch NXT and wanted to know what my analysis is. It's definitely not like the black and gold. I'm sorry. Black and Gold was far better than what I got out here. However, I like Zoe Stark. She's a badass. I see a great future of her moving forward. Cora Jade, sexy as hell. If you've seen her, then you understand what I'm talking about. It's you know, uh, birthday cake. That's what to say. There's a lot of cake. Kiana James is all right. Indy Hartwell was good. Roxanne Perez, I guess she's supposed to be the new flagship babyface of NXT. Like she's supposed to be the one to defeat Mandy Rose, I guess, for the championship. I don't know. I don't see her. I rather Zoe Stark or was the one, but good for her. Roxanne, she got the win, so it was good. So she'll most likely face Mandy Rose either at New Year's Eve or Vengeance Day, whatever the case may be. The next match was Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn, and again with the spookiness of the WWE, they can't get away from the spookiness. This is why I love ROH Final Battle. They are not dealing with spooky, cartoony BS. This is basically coming out, fire, but it was a boring match. I didn't really care less about this. And then the finish of the match itself, the referee was like choking on some substance or something like that. See, this is the weirdest cartoony crap I really hate about it. Tag Team Championship, Pretty Deadly versus New Day. I hate Pretty Deadly. I do not like their outfits. I do not like their style. I don't like anything involving this match. It sucked. I'm done. Anyone who's a fan of New Day or Pretty Deadly, this is probably one of the best tag team matches for NXT's show. But again, Briscoes versus FTR, Pretty Deadly versus New Day. Who do you think I'm going to pick for best tag team tonight? Seriously. So it's trash. It's garbage. If you want to watch it, that's fine with me. There was a spot where like one of the guys was throwing the belts to one of the other guys and pretending that they hit him and they all fell and then all of them fell. And this stupid crowd thought that was the most awesome thing they ever witnessed. Who scripted this crap? Bruce Pritchard? Is he in this? Because this is garbage. It's garbage. All right? It's just pure garbage. I hate it. It sucked. We're moving on. New Day are the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Like, I could care less about it. Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. You got Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy, Mello, and Axiom. Axiom again. What is this? He's like another Sin Cara superhero type of person. Enough of the superheroes. All right? Stop suspending belief just so you can buy more merchandise for your blasted kids. Enough. Give me some real wrestling for a change. Thankfully, Grayson Waller is the most serious guy out of everyone else in that matchup. Because as soon as he came out, he dumped what? Who did he beat? He beat both Axiom and I think it was JJ McDonald. I could be wrong. Got a pinfall on Axiom. Got a pinfall on McDonald. Already he was 2 up before the fourth or fifth person even showed up. Bravo. I even like the spot in which Axiom and JD McDonald, they were like fighting in the penalty box. That was kind of cool. So I kind of like that. It was a better pace match than in the women's. Everyone got their chance to shine, but Grayson Waller is the man. And honestly, he has grown to me. I like I said, I never watched NXT. So I come in with fresh eyes, and this Grayson Waller guy, I like him. I think he has the it factor. I think he has that toughness, that heelish attitude that he brings out there. He got something. Not like an Austin Theory. Austin Theory sucks. He sucks. Grayson Waller, yes. Get me more Grayson Waller. I like that. So it looks like Grayson Waller is going to be challenging the champion, whenever it may be, and whoever it may be, because the next match is Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews. Both of these guys, they're going at it. It was, oh, God, it sucked. It's like, you know what? You should have just put this on a regular episode of NXT and no one cares. I feel sorry for Apollo Crews. I really do. But he is just a charisma vacuum. There is just nothing about him that just makes me want to buy a ticket to see him wrestle, let alone buy a pay-per-view. If it wasn't for the fact I get this free on Peacock, I wouldn't even bother with this match. It was so predictable. It was like he was just thrown in there as a filler. And then they had all these like vignettes of them fishing together, but them being a hot air balloon together, eating pizza together and all that other crap, being like buddies before their fight. Who does that crap? Well, how you buddy an opponent before your match? That's so stupid. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't care about this match. It sucked. All right, Braun Breaker won. That's great. But Grayson Waller came in and beat the shit out of him, and that made me happy. So now I am really looking forward for Grayson Waller to finally dethrone Braun Breaker and just lead NXT into a whole new era as him as champion. Even though I won't even bother watching NXT on a regular basis unless Nikita Lyons is somehow involved, which pisses me off. No Mandy Rose and no Nikita Lyons. Why am I watching? Why am I watching this? Seriously. My thoughts on the new concept match itself, work some things out. I guess it could sell, but honestly, it's not my cup of tea. So that's it. That is my review of NXT Deadline. I highly suggest not to watch it. There's not a single notable match out there. I guess if I have to give, there's two matches I guess I will give the big thumbs up to is both the women's and the men's Survivor Challenge matches. Everything else, absolutely forgettable, absolutely skippable. You don't need to deal with that at all. And that's it. It's been 30 minutes of me ranting on Final Battle and Deadline, and I hope you like this. I'm going to be doing more programming. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be doing a live stream on Wrestle Kingdom 17, 3 a.m. on January the 4th. So be there with that. I'll give you details as more come in. I will be on Discord under Gun Hill Bane, Trap City. And, of course, subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe to my channel, Bainbridge Omega. Tell your friends, tell everybody. And I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, this is Bainbridge Omega just signing off. See ya.